Hi guys, and welcome to, it's gonna be a review for the CCZ Warrior, a review as well for the BGVP Scale Pro, and a rant. And a rant, why? Because I'm tired. I'm honestly tired of, to a certain extent, all of us being taken for a ride. It's my obligation and my duty as a reviewer, and I consider myself to be a decent reviewer. I'm not going to say I'm a good reviewer. I'm going to say I'm a decent reviewer. I'm going to say I'm a reviewer with values, to point out and to bring to the attention of the public in general certain aspects. One of them being the fact that I don't know what is going on, honestly. I just don't understand. The chi-fi market has reached a point where things are coming out quicker than what we can even have time to assimilate them. And if in the very least those things were coming out and they were good, I guess we would all just suck it up and that's it. But no, they're not good. The majority of them are they're very lackluster and are just focused on this marketing of wanting to just get us out of our money. And I find it a little bit sad that some reviewers and I try and see their point of view. Not everybody has to have my idea on things. Why some reviewers just don't do the same thing that I am doing? I just don't understand. I cannot understand. Anyway, before I carry on with my rant, let's get these two IEMs out of the way straight away. Okay, BGVP Scale Pro. It's basically the BGVP Scale, which was a dual dynamic driver, a 10 and a 6mm, but they've swapped out the 6mm for a BA. And if I listen to one and to the other, I prefer the dual BA, the dual DD. The implementation of the BA here, in my opinion, has been very unlike 2022 in the sense that, come on guys, I mean, we go back a couple of years and people were apparently doing things better than what we're doing now. I've got like here the CVJ, the CS8, and I've got the CS8 here to be compared with the rest of what is here, but also to talk about it with regards to the Warrior. I mean, this was a 1+3, and we're talking back in 2018 or something, or 2019. So this is prehistoric by all intents and purposes. And back then, this got very little or no love because, oh no, my God, this thing is so horrible and it shouts and the BA timbre and blah, 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 blah. And this puts to shame the Warrior. It puts the Warrior to shame. And this is where I just don't understand what is going on. What is going on with these companies? I mean, I'm a big fan of the Underdog product. I'm a big fan of KZ, of CCA, of KB Ear, of CVJ, of TRN. I'm a big fan of those brands because when they want, they can show us that they know what they are doing and they are capable of doing a good product. KZ in the beginning of this year, as you all recall, was the subject of an issue that involved two of their models. I was one of the people that actually even mentioned about it. And the reality is, at least they took things and they did something about it. And they've been launching one after the other of really half-decent products. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Well, the CRA was a good one, the original CRA, and that was just before this whole situation that happened with the DQ6 and the DQ6S and the ZXX Pro. Excuse me. But the EDA series, nice. The EDX Ultra, nice. CRA Plus, nice. Whole big story. Oh, they changed the tuning so much. Why are they calling it CRA Plus? And what I'm just saying now, you will understand in a few minutes where I'm going with this. I mean, it had a little bit less bass, but overall, the basis of it was the same. Okay, it was the same. But anyway, a whole criticism about the CRA Plus, but it was good. It played decent. Then they came out with the ESX, again decent. The Lyra, again decent. Then they introduced us to the planars. Okay, fine, maybe the pre-LA 13 was a little bit too bass heavy, but you know what? You play with it just a little bit. You play with it just a little bit. And I think, if you play around with a 10, a 20, a 40, a 60, $100 IEM, and if something goes wrong, it's not the same thing as playing around with $1,000 IEM. With $1,000 IEM, you expect it to play well. And still there, you get absolutely appalling products which are a disgrace. And it's our fault. It's our fault to accept this. And I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick and tired of it. So, as I was saying, PLA 13, amazing. It was decent. It was a in-house done, item. They launched the PR1, improved. It was an improvement, a huge improvement. I mean, you take a PR1 Hi-Fi and you put some foam tips on it, and please do not come and tell me that it doesn't play well. It plays well. It plays really well. Now with the CCA, the HM20, again, fantastic hybrid. It's the first hybrid since the ZAX that actually plays well. Still, I hear people complaining, oh, it's got too much bass. What is wrong with you? What do you mean too much bass? I want to respect everybody, but please explain to me, where do you mean it's got too much bass? Especially when this comment comes from people that are people known for liking too much bass. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Please. I mean, it's a 7mm driver that is doing wonders in my books. It's doing wonders. So I just... It's very hard for me to digest certain comments. Going back to what I was saying on the BGVP scale, massive mid-bass emphasis. In the dual dynamic driver one, it's still kind of half acceptable, although there's that big emphasis on the mid-bass, so I guess it will be fun for those that want a lot of mid-bass. The mids are half decent, the highs half extension. It's half decent. The one using the BA unit, please. I mean, this thing shouts. It's trying to kill you. So, why would I go spend $30 on this, where I have the likes of a Tangzu 1 year, the likes of a TRN MT3, the likes of a 7Hz Cell Notes 0, the likes of a Tenstrom 0. Why would I spend that? Why? And I did a mod on that one day, and that mod I did on that was a simple mod, people. I mean, it was really genuinely a simple mod. I opened it up, I put a Y4 filter on the dynamic driver, the big dynamic driver, to lower the mid-bass bump, okay? And I put a foam filter on the nozzle. A medium density 5x5 foam filter on the nozzle, and wow, what a nice IM. And just this is what I cannot understand. What is wrong with certain companies? I mean, I'm a big fan of BGVP. I reviewed their Melody and I like it. I said it clearly. It didn't get much liked by a lot of other people, but I say it's a good IM. It's a really well equipped, well accessorized, and it's half decent. It's not bad. It is really not bad to my ears, and if you choose the right tips, it is really not bad. The NS9 again, it's not bad, and they've got a few nice products, BGVP. So I don't understand why would they go do this? Why? I mean, so basically, BGVP Scale Pro fail. I mean, don't even bother with it, please. And this is what really gets to me is then they still have the audacity of saying that, oh no, we're not selling well, or you're not selling well because you're not making good products. Come on. Period. So that's the BGVP out of the way. On to the CCZ. This is a sub-brand belonging to KB here, we all know that. Started with the Coffee Bean, which is basically a KS1. And then they came out with this, which was, they came out with a 1 plus 4, which cost like $170 or $180. That was ridiculous. It was basically, in my opinion, in my books, and until somebody can actually show me and prove me wrong, in my books, it was nothing more, nothing less than a KB ear, the what is it called? The 1+4 that they have. Oh my god, I had a blank. But anyway, it's basically a KBA, the 1+4 they have. It costs like $60 or something. It's basically that, you know. But no, they put it in a nice fancy shell metal, and oh no, it's costs $170 and blah blah blah. Well, so good, it just died out. Anyway, they then CCZ then came out with the Melody, which is this, and the Emerald, okay, which are 1+1 hybrids. All right, and they are exactly the same to start with. They graft the same, they sound the same. I bought 3 pairs of each. I can attest to that. Okay, I can attest to that. At least I'll give them one thing: quality control was excellent. All 6 sets measured the same. You know, they measured the same. So quality control, that's not an issue there. It was okay. It was at best okay. It didn't sound bad. It was basically a KS1 or a coffee bean with a bit more extension. Okay, emphasis on the mid bass. Fine. Now they launched this, the Warrior 1+C. Warrior. What is it? I mean, please, people. This is a step backwards. It is worse than that. It is worse than that. It's got a massive mid-bass pump, okay, which just smothers the rest. There's no real mids to be said or talked about. There's no real highs because everything is just drowned by this massive bass, which is the same situation, by the way, that happens with the Rosefinch. The Rosefinch is just smothered with this ridiculous amount of bass, which, you know, actually the past 1K part of the signature is actually well done, but you don't even notice it. I retuned it, I lowered the bass significantly, and wow, what an amazing IEM. What an amazing sounding IEM. And again, simple. Open it up, stick a Y5 or a Y6 filter on the driver, and that's that. It's done. It's simple. It is that simple. Okay? And fantastic. It's a completely different beast. Oh, sorry, a Y6 filter, yes, sorry, a Y5 or a Y6 filter, and you put a Tanstrom, an Oxygen or a Tanstrom Tanya or a 400 grade filter on the vent. And what a difference the Rosefinch becomes. It becomes a truly nice sounding IM that will please bass heads. So this excuse of that, no, it was done for the bass head crowd. No, it will please bass heads, trust me. Okay, it actually sounds way better. There's a song by Damien Escobar called Secret Garden. Okay, take note, I'll put it in the description afterwards. Damien Escobar, Secret Garden. It's got amazing guitars, it's got amazing percussion, I mean amazing violin, and it's got this ridiculous bass line. You hear it on the standard one and it sounds like poo. You hear it on the modified version and you feel that bass. It's got rumble, it's got guts, it's got everything, you know. So honestly, I don't understand. And that's the same thing that happens here with the Warrior. This ridiculous amount of mid bass that they've put on it just spoils it. It just spoils the IEM, you know. And again, I took and I retuned it. I did exactly the same mod that I did on the Rosefinch. Plonked a Y4. In this case, it was actually a Y4, not a Y5 or a Y6. I plonked a Y4 filter on the dynamic driver, okay, and put a 400 grade filter on the nozzle. And it is a completely different IEM. And this is what I cannot understand. You know, completely different IEM. You got still an amazing bass, which is now clean. It's now got dynamics to it. It's now got texture to it. No longer is that bloated mess. Okay, the mids actually, because they're not bad. The past 1K area is not bad, but now the past 1K area shines. You've got mids. It's got decent vocals. It's still a little bit on the dark side. Okay, because of the extension. Is not what I would expect, especially when you consider it's using 3 BAs, but it's fine. It plays really nice. That's what it should have been tuned like. And this is what I don't understand. It seems that manufacturers now, they either go and get the services of other reviewers, and nothing against that, fine, but at the end of the day, those reviewers should not be as knowledgeable as the in-house engineers, but fine, they want to go fetch those reviewers to retune their IAMs. A lot of the times the retune that is done is a joke. I mean, the retune of the Z12, come on people, you want me to honestly accept that a 2 dB, 3 at the very most, okay, in the base is going to be noticeable? I have 4 sets of S12s, four. In terms of the base, 2 of them graphed 3 dBs more than the other 2. So I've got basically 2 Z12s and 2 stock two stock S12s. You know, and this is what I don't understand. But fine, you plonk the name of the person there, he makes his cut, people think it's now a retune, and wow, amazing, fantastic. When I got my S12 Pro and I graphed it, I saw a significant difference from it to the stock S12. I saw a difference of 4 dBs in certain areas of the mids. A fellow colleague of mine also had the same situation. However, when I mentioned that, I was told, no, you're talking nonsense, you don't know what you're saying, it's stock, they didn't do anything. Okay, fine, well, then it goes to prove more what I was just saying. All right. Other collaborations as well that have happened in just recently, the same situation. The difference between what was and what is so minimal that I just cannot understand. And this brings me again to another topic that I want to rant about, which is, I can understand that the companies want to make money. Fine. That's amazing. That's fantastic. It's amazing. But, make a product and let it live at least. Do it properly. R&D it properly. Because if you R&D a product properly, it will have a lifespan. It will have a decent lifespan where you will make money. You will sell and people will continue buying it because they know they're good. There's a reason why the BL03 was a success. There's a reason for that. Okay? Be it a fluke or be it not a fluke. It played well, period. Played well. And it was such a nuisance that all the audiophiles, or the majority of the big name audiophiles, were all, oh my God, how is it possible? A $30, well, at that time it was like $25, a $25 IM being compared to an IM that costs $1,000. This is blasphemy and blah, 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 blah. You know what, guys? It played well. It played well. It had good timbre. It had decent mids. Okay, it was a little bit bloated on the bass, but it played well. That is the truth. And if it plays well, if you shove it in your ears and it plays well, that's what matters. But the stuff that I'm mentioning here, it's not even that happens because they are bad. They play bad. And this is what I just cannot understand. What is it now? They've now forgotten how to tune IMs, the companies. They've now forgotten to do it. I mean, like, what happened? Tangzhou was, until, recently, one of the few companies that was doing its own thing. And now apparently they've also gone down the road of doing a collab. I don't understand why, but that's their business. They've proven that they know how to tune. They've decided to go down the road now, fine. I think it's a disrespect to us that bought the Wuzetian, we paid, and the IM now, after 3 months of being released, not even, or 2 months, there's now a substitute to it. At least have the courtesy of calling it a different thing. At least that. Call it a different name. But this is just me. And I will speak my mind. And honestly, I don't care. I'm not offending anybody. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. I'm just calling it as it is. And I'm saying what a lot of people think. And that's the problem. We live in a world now that everybody's afraid of speaking. Oh, we can't speak because you know what? I will speak. That was a disgrace. No. I will review it. Yes, I will review it because it's my obligation to continue to show and do this because I love what I do. I love this hobby. Okay? But it's a disgrace that many people went out, okay, especially now during the 11/11 sales. They went out, they bought the Wuzetian, and now there's going to be a new one coming out. Is this fair? No, this is not fair. This is showing absolutely no respect for the client, for the customer, for the ones that actually make you survive and make you put food on your plates. No respect. And that's where I feel that more of us of me, of people like me, of our reviewers, we should be the first ones to not be afraid and to talk about it and say it. But no, we all have agendas. Anyway, back to this year, Warrior. If I have to compare the stock Warrior with a stock FiO JH3 or a TA1 Max, there's no comparison. Both the FiO or the Jade Audio, whichever way you want to call it, and the TA Max eat the CCZ alive. Eat it alive. They are in a different category completely different category. It's actually funny because this in the mids and highs actually graphs pretty similar to the Warrior. It's just the way that the bass is done here is different. It's more subdued. It's calmed down, so it shines. The TA Max actually has a nice sound. It's a nice sounding 1+1. It generally is. And the FiO, the JH3, amazing. They took basically the EA3 and they improved it. The dip that they used to be past 2K on the EA3, they've reduced that dip. It's now almost flat, and it sounds good. Maybe a little bit artificially bright in the top end, but it's not offensive. A little bit sibilant here and there, but it's nice. It's got nice dynamic bass, great mids. It sounds good. Why would I go spend $30 or $40 on this when I can buy that or that for basically the same amount of money? I don't understand. Honestly, this is not an attack on any company. It's not an attack on anybody. You take it as you want. This is simply pointing out that companies, once and for all, start tuning. The market is highly competitive. Okay? It's highly competitive. Gone are the days where you just throw stuff together, put it out there, and it gets sold. No, people now want a good quality product. They want something that plays decently. So wake up, smell the coffee, and start doing that. It's not that, hell, I've offered my services, and again, let me just repeat this, okay? I'm nobody. I am just a fan, a lover of this hobby, and I've been involved with music for the better part of 30 years of my life. Okay, so I think I know a little bit about music. I think I know a little bit how to tune. I think I know a little bit about how something should or shouldn't sound. Okay, not everybody has to like my music, but I know about how it sounds, and I've offered my services. And okay, some have accepted it, some haven't. But if you don't want my services, you have other people in the market which are reputable, which know what they're doing. Hire them, get them to tune for you. If you don't want to go and resort to the same people all the time that have been doing collabs, there's other people out there. There's a gentleman out there, which I'm not going to say his name, but there's a gentleman out there which is the one responsible behind this particular brand. And this guy is an absolute magician, period. He is a magician, okay? He knows what he's doing. And you can get hold of him. Talk to the man. Throw some money at him if you have to, and get his services. But start tuning properly. Please, start tuning properly. The scale is an absolute disappointment. It's a disappointment. When I take an IEM like the CS8, and this has been around, like I said, since 2018 or something, and this thing just eats the Warrior alive, I mean, that's enough testament. I mean, that is enough testament and enough to go along what I've been trying to say in this video. And yeah, that's it. So, guys, if you were expecting to get a nice review about the BGVP scale, no, forget it. This is not. Don't spend your money on that, honestly. And if you said also, oh no, the Warrior is, no, it's not. It doesn't play well. It does absolutely nothing well. Nothing. There is nothing that these two IEMs can do that there aren't others that do it way better and cheaper. Hell, come on. QKZ, HBB, Zeus collab. Amazing. It walks all over these two. It walks over it. You want a KZ? EDA balanced walks all over either one of these two. EDA balanced, Ultra, Lyra, it walks all over these two IEMs. You know, why would you go, when you can buy a Lyra for like $18? Why would I go spend 30 on this? Why? You know, why? Anyway, guys, I've got the graph section. I'll just browse through it quickly so you guys can have a look at it. And yeah, and that's it. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you didn't like it, please unsubscribe. You know, honestly, I honestly do not know where this is going. I truly and genuinely do not know where people are trying to go. I just don't. I just don't know. Take care, guys. Take care. So, guys, okay, this is the graph section of the CCZ Warrior and the BGVP scale. I'll start with the Warrior first. As you can see, it's not so much this here that's badly done. Okay, it isn't. This is actually not too bad. You know, there's no real. It's a little bit dark, fine, yes, a little bit dark. This is a coupler related peak. You don't really notice this extension like the graph shows, but it's fine. But now, it's this that is an absolute mess. What is this, people? Please, what is this? You know? What? So, basically, I did a little mod to it, and this is just the coupler that I just didn't introduce it, you know, 100%. But we're talking about a difference of 4 dBs here, reduction in the mid bass. It's now much flatter. There's no bleed into the mids that's really noticeable or anything of the sort. It's fine. It's got a slightly higher pinna gain, as you can see, and the mids basically didn't just follow through the way they are. Much nicer sound. This is what it should have been. This is what it should have been, because it's still got plenty bass, plenty bass. Okay. Anyway, this is the stock one. This is compared to, now let me start showing the comparisons. Okay, so that's the stock. Now compared to the TA1 Max, as I mentioned in the review, very similar. Difference of 2-3 dBs here in the mid bass. Okay, 2 dB, almost 3 dBs here in the mid bass. But because there's more energy there, this has come down just enough for it to overall be a much more pleasing signature. It's not as dark as the Warrior. It just sounds more open, and it's still got all the engagement that the Warrior has. It's still got all that thump, but it's cleaner. It's more detailed. Actually, the DD driver of the TA1 Max is a very good DD driver. Okay, there, TA1 Max out of the way. This is compared to the FIO. Excuse me, just 1 second so I can put a different color. Compared to the FIO, the the JH3, sorry. Again, reduction of 3 dBs in the mid bass, as you can see, way flatter. This whole section here, very similar. And then it's got, yes, this huge coupler related peak, and then all this energy past 10K. Is it noticeable? Yes, it is noticeable. Is it unaudiophile-like? Yes, it's unaudiophile-like. But does it sound good? Yes, it sounds good. It sounds very nice. It sounds way better than what it sounds in the Warrior. The Warrior sounds like a closed down mess where there's absolutely nothing like detail retrieval or anything of the sort. While you do have that in the JH3. The JH3 is capable of doing that. So there, okay, out of the way. JH3. Next. So let me just actually close this one down. Close the TA1 down. There's no need. Okay, this one now is this we don't need. Over here, the CS8, as I was mentioning. Okay, that's the graph of the CS8. That's a nice graph, people. It's actually not a bad graph. You know that? Nice, smooth bass. Really well done. Nice. A little bit energetic up top. Yes, it's true. It's got this peak here as well that you do notice it, but it's only just slightly, offensive at times. And overall, I'll take the CS8 any day of the week. No questions. Okay, that's that done. Next. The Emerald and the Melody. Yes, I was forgetting these two. Emerald and melody. As you can see straight away, they graphically identical. But when you compare them to the Warrior, you can see they basically got the same bass. So it's basically the same bloated mid bass, curve. But at least it had a decent pinna gain that made up for that. So this section here, actually, although as you can see it's very similar, it just overall gives that little bit of extra energy that's needed to compensate for this ginormous amount of mid bass bump that you have here, and it just sounds better. It's not perfect by any means. No, it isn't. But it just sounds better. It actually just sounds better. So that's the melody and the emerald out of the way. Next one now is the BGVP scale. Sorry, I've got to actually get it here. And this is the BGVP scale, the stock, and then the normal dual dynamic one, and then the pro version. BGVP scale, where are we? BGVP scale. You know what? I actually erased the graph of the pro. Yeah, I don't even have the graph of the pro. I don't have the graph of the pro. It's true. Yeah. I don't. I just erased it because I was just so. I'm just making sure. Yeah, BGVP scale. Yeah, that's the scale. Yeah, that's the dual dynamic one. You can see a lot of similarities to the Warrior. The same stupid mid bass bump, which when I did my mod on it, as you can see here, I just reduced it dramatically. Actually, let me just align it so you guys can see it better. Okay, there. And let me just take out the Warrior so we can actually see the two scales better. Red line stock, green line my one. Reduced that mid bass, gave it a little bit more extension. Okay, which just happened it just happened. I did nothing to get that extension, and everything else here just basically maintained itself. And it sounds so much better than the stock scale. The pro version is basically the red line, as you can see. It's got this, and then it just, oh my god, it just forget it. You know what? Just forget it. Anyway, guys, that's my take here on the BGVP scale pro and the CCZ Warrior. I just don't know. I just don't know what is going on. I apologize for my rant, and again, no disrespect intended to anybody. If anybody does take that way, I'm not going to apologize. I wasn't disrespectful. I just said truth, and if truth hurt, well, I'm sorry. That's the way life is. But yes, please, guys, let's not, be partners to this continuous situation of things just being launched and we just accepting it and thinking, oh yeah, wow, and yes, take my money. No, forget it. No, this doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense what is going on. All right, you take care, guys. Bye bye.